Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Milt, here to do another video. This time I'm doing the movie review, and the movie is titled Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope. This movie stars Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, Peter Cushing, Sir Alec Guinness, Peter Mayhew, Anthony Daniels, and a whole slew of other characters and cast. The movie was directed by George Lucas, and it was released May 25th, 1977. This is one of the first original films in the Star Wars trilogy, the first original trilogy, and this was the first movie that kicked off the whole Star Wars saga and what the universe is and what we know of it today. I'm going to start about what I liked about the movie and what I didn't like about the movie. Pretty much there's a lot of positives, let's be honest. This is a classic film. It's one of the best movies ever made, according to a lot of people in the history. I know it's in the AFI, I want to say top 100. And I have to say, you know, this movie deserves that credit. And I'll preface this by saying, you know, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Disney's not paying me, Lord George Lucas not paying me to say this. This is a well-told story. But even though this movie isn't my favorite of the whole series, this isn't my favorite. It's probably like my fourth favorite movie in the series. But I have to give it credit where credit is due. This is a good film. The moment you start out with the film, you know, you have the rebels who are on the run from stealing the Death Star plans. Princess Leia's on this ship. She's trying to get the plans to Obi-Wan Kenobi, which will eventually she wants to get them to Alderaan, to her home planet, so they can destroy the Death Star. Well, Darth Vader isn't having it. He's hunting them down. He's willing to kick ass and take names. And that's the cool thing about this movie, because it throws you right into the action, which is awesome. The first 10 minutes of this movie, you're like, oh, I'm hooked. You know, you want to see what happens. And for this being a movie that was, you know, made in 1977, and it's almost 40 years later now, it still holds up, you know, especially with the now high definition quality, with George Lucas tinkering with the films a little bit to make them more up to date, and also adding some things, and we'll get to that later. It still holds up to this day. I feel that the characters are all well written. For the most part, my favorite character in this particular movie is Darth Vader. He's the man. Like, my favorite part with him is whenever he's in the briefing with all the Moffs, and they're talking about the Death Star and how a technological terror this machine is, and you know, you have the great Peter Cushing just sitting there very stoic and just looking very, you know, admiral like, and all his people around him are arguing, and Vader just starts talking about how don't, you know, underestimate the power of the Force, don't rely on this technological terror. And the one guy goes, you know, you couldn't conjure up the stolen data tapes, and Darth Vader just, you know, Force chokes the shit out of him because he disrespected the Force. This Moff was talking shit and saying how the Jedi is no more and that ancient religion is done, and Vader just dropped the hammer and said, I find your lack of faith disturbing, when he Force choked him, which is a badass line. That's my favorite scene in the whole movie. Just showing how ruthless Vader can be, how badass he can be. But yeah, the characters are awesome. I think, you know, Sir Alec Guinness, playing Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ben Kenobi, he's the man in this movie. I loved it. He's really good. Luke Skywalker is probably my least favorite in this movie, just because, and that might be blasphemous for me to say, but Luke was a whiny biatch, in my opinion. Now again, I love Luke Skywalker as a character in general, but in his first movie, he bothered me because he's just very whiny. I want to go to Touch Station for power converters. Like, oh, come on, dude. That part makes me cringe every time I watch it. So I didn't enjoy him, but I like Han Solo. He's the man. Princess Leia is a strong female character. Chewbacca is the man. C-3PO and R2-D2, they're pretty fucking dope. Very funny and entertaining. I love the Death Star scene. Whenever, you know, they're escaping the Death Star, they have to, you know, destroy or take down the shield generator and the tractor beams. That's pretty cool. I love the last battle when they're fighting the Death Star, when they're trying to, like, do the trench run. The trench run's pretty badass, and I love how George updated that. I think that's something that needed updated with the special editions, which was released in 1997. That was really cool to see. So it was cool to see that battle, because I really enjoy a lot of the space battles in Star Wars. The lightsaber duel was okay, even though in my previous videos I talked about how it's in one of my top 5s or my top 10 list of lightsaber duels. It's a respectable duel, but it just wasn't nothing. It was okay, you know. I didn't hate it, but it was just okay to me. But that's what I didn't like about the movie. Again, Luke Skywalker's character kind of bothered me at times. and the pacing in the second, probably towards the end of the first act, going into the middle of the second act, it got low for me. I kind of got bored with it, and even to this day, like I just watched it 2 days ago, and I seriously was getting bored with that part. Even though I know what's going to happen, I know how it plays out. Like I never enjoy that middle of the movie part because it gets so old for me. It feels slow, and maybe I just have the ADHD. I don't know. I don't think I have ADHD, but I pretty much like to enjoy most movies, and I enjoy this movie. It's just that part of the film, it's very slow for me, and I'm like, oh my god. And then the lightsaber duel was just okay. It didn't stand out to me. Maybe because I like the prequel lightsaber battles a lot and how quick and fast they are. Maybe that's kind of why I don't like this one as much. But again, I understand the importance of it, so please don't kill me for it. Another thing I didn't like about this movie, again, I think, besides the pacing in that duel and Luke's character, this is what I remember. The lightsaber, Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber. When he first gets the lightsaber from Obi-Wan, Luke does, it looks pretty cool. The blue is showing. And then when he's doing his training with the lightsaber, it's like a white, yellowish blade. I'm like, dude, you can't fix this? Like, I'm sorry. A lot of people don't like the tinkering that he did in 1997, even in 2006 or 2011. I'm sorry, you got to fix that lightsaber, especially that training sequence. That lightsaber looks booty. And that throws me off for a minute. I'm like, man, this looks like shit. But those are just minute things. It doesn't kill the film. It doesn't make the film bad. It's one of the best films of all time. It's the original Star Wars movie. It kicks off this universe. So I'm not going to hate on it all that much. I really like the movie. And if I had to grade it, I'll grade this as, go see this mofo. Seriously. Like, it's a go see this type of movie mofo. Go buy them on Blu-ray. Go buy them on DVD. Rent them on Redbox. I don't care what you got to get them. Get the movies. You know what I'm saying? Especially get the first one. You need to watch the first one to appreciate the technology and how George was filming and making this movie in 1977. So, yeah. But, no, I'm going to talk about, just real quick, just a special edition version, too. And just that people have an issue with that, like adding, making Mos Eisley more livable, more lively, adding some of the other tweaks to it. I had no problem with it. I think there were cool things to add. I think it makes the world more lively. It feels like we're actually there. And I know people are going to say, well, it already feels lived in. Why add more to it? Well, I'm looking at the originals and what I remember about the original movies when I saw them. Even thinking as an adult, even though they were great movies, I feel that the environment was very stale. With George adding something to it and pushing the envelope, he made it feel like, okay, it's a living environment. There's a lot of stuff going on, Think of it as like New York City, downtown Manhattan, how everything's moving fast and fast. That's how I think George is interpreting Mos Eisley, but not being a huge city like Manhattan, New York. So I really liked what he was doing with that. And I liked the other stuff that he added, which is cool. So there you have it, folks, my review of Star Wars Episode 4, New Hope. Have you seen it? Are you going to see it? Tell me what you think. Let's keep this conversation going. Look for my other reviews of the other 5 films or other 6 films of the series. I already did Force Awakens, but I'll probably re-review that because now I have it on Blu-ray. I can watch it more. But, yeah, like I say all the time, comment, like, and subscribe. Peace.
What up? Hey, shout it what it is. What up? Hey, shout it what it is. What up? Hey, shout it what it is. Little buddy, what you want? Some violent shit.